Alright, Aquarius, it is time for your September monthly reading. We'll be using the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot. And we'll go ahead and get started. Hope you've had a good start to the month so far. And let's see what's happening. We're starting out with the Ten of Pentacles. We have the Lovers. The Ten of Swords. The Queen of Pentacles. The Eight of Swords, Death, the Four of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, and we need two more cards. We have the Hermit, and we have the Fool. So that's interesting. We've got four major arcana here. I'm going to set this aside in case we need clarification on anything, and then we'll get into it. So it kind of, just at a glance, it kind of looks like everything is going backwards. Like this is not super great, so yes. I say that because I am an Aquarius moon, so I feel your pain. So we're starting, of course, with the Ten of Pentacles, and I was just kind of looking at this here a little bit. So this is earth, this is possession, this is like tangible wealth, but it's also interesting because in the tapestries in the background, and I hadn't noticed this before, there's like ships here, there's a picture of the castle here, and like there's a whole family sitting around playing with dogs. There's the puppies over here, and then like elders. So it's like it's a full family. It's full abundance. It's like all the things that you could possibly want. Then we move into the Lovers, and we have that tree, flaming tree, and then the Garden of Eden, the serpent figure of Adam and Eve. And I don't want to say this is necessarily relationships because there's so much on the board here that I think that would be jumping the gun a bit, but it is relation to something. So it's not, when I say relationship, it could be like, it's not necessarily a person, it could also be other outside things, or relationship to a job, to friends. It's not specifically a romantic relationship. That's what I was going for. We then have the Ten of Swords here. So the black skies, and then obviously he's been like stabbed in the back a bunch of times, so he's not having a good day. And so it's interesting to go from this abundance and this close relationship to almost like losing everything, but still having that ability to create and manifest. So this is the end of a cycle, the end of a pattern. But the question is, what is that relating to? Because it's not talking about your ability to manifest. You still have that fully, and you are still abundant, and you are still able to create and produce. And then we come to the Eight of Swords, and I really like this card, and I know it might be a little confusing because it's like, wow, like she doesn't look like she's in a great situation here, but the point of this is that the weapons formed against you are in your mind. So going back to the Ten of Swords, I'm seeing here that, like, yes, this is an ending, and yes, there's something probably relating to a relationship that is breaking down, but it doesn't affect your ability to create, which is what's the most important. And it seems like a loss, but that is a perception issue. When I say a perception issue, it is it a loss? Are you losing? Are you stuck here? Or if you took off your blinders and changed your perspective, would you see that this was actually for the greater good, for your greater good specifically? We then have the Death card as well. And again, the Death card and the Ten of Swords together really, this is like really drilling home that this is the close of a cycle. So whenever something's ending, that there has to be a rebirth, there has to be a newness, there has to be change coming in. But you can't have something new without getting rid of the old, because otherwise you're just adding to the old thing, right? So it's not really changing that much. Even I don't know, even with the Death card, like if you were thinking about remodeling a house, and this is like a off the wall example, but stick with me here. Even if you're thinking about remodeling the house, in order to rebuild it, you have to gut it first. You have to take out all the stuff that you want to change. You have to take all of that out, which is the death aspect, in order to rebuild. So this is really talking about the new life here, and you see that even on the flower of the card here, and it's not it is not The Day After Tomorrow. There was a movie with Tom Cruise, and they were in like these robot suits, and they were like in a loop. But there's a song in the I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but I will continue with my narrative. There's a song in the intro to the movie, and it was like, "This is not the end." So with the cycle that's closing, even if it feels like your world is just totally falling apart, like everything seems like it's all lost, this is not the end. I feel like that it was it's gonna bug me. I'm gonna have to look up what that movie was. I'll put it in the description in case anyone cares. We then have the Four of Pentacles, and it's this is good. Aquarius, it's like you are holding on to something specifically, like it's like being pulled away, and you're like hanging on to it, and it's dragging you, and you're feeling really beat up here because this, like, you're holding on to it with the Four of Pentacles. Like, he's got his feet on it, and he's holding it, and he's like hugging it to his body, and he's got one bounced on his head. He's like, no, this is mine, and it's hurting you, but you're still holding on to it. And here we have the Five of Cups, where like it's gotten really just pulled out of your hand, and like you're crying over spilled milk, and there's still this behind you, but you're so focused on, and it's funny that there's the Three Cups here, because it's the Eight of the Ten of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and Death. So you got your three cards there. I also want to say, there's swords here, so this is something mental, right? And I think that's why it's emphasized here that you've got your Ten of Pentacles and you've got your Queen of Pentacles. So this is not talking about losing your job or a house or like money. This is something mentally that you felt like you possessed but you did not. So back to the Lovers, this could be a relationship, a friendship, some kind of partnership, but it could also be a mental battle that you are fighting. So it's not necessarily, but it's not, this isn't like you losing all your stuff. That's not what this is talking about. And I think it's interesting that that is emphasized, that it is more so around relationship and partnership, not necessarily romantic, but it could also include romantic relationships. I want to be clear about that. But here with the Ten of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and the Death card, you are like focused on that, those aspects of it, where this, like, you've been almost like stabbed in the back, you feel trapped, you feel stuck, and now it's finally being pulled away, and you're like here holding on to it, but like you're recognizing that it's gone and mourning that loss. And it's not that it's bad to, let me rephrase that. It is good to take the time to grieve and to mourn when we've lost something, but not at the expense of realizing what we still have. So like take a little bit of time to grieve what you've lost here, but then turn around and look around for the things that you still have. Change your perspective. And again, here, this is still a matter of perspective. So we've got two different perspective issues here, because it's not this part of it. Like, this is painful. This is the rub. But here, there's another perspective, because you feel trapped, but if you examine the situation, like she's got her eyes, she's blindfolded, right? She can't actually see her situation. So taking a step back, removing the blinders, getting another perspective, whether that be a trusted advisor or like really seeking guidance, spending some time in meditation, stepping back from the situation, you will see that you are not trapped. And when you see that you're not trapped, we have the Death card and the Four of Pentacles. It's okay to let go here. It's okay to let death take this. Because once you release that, you do have the other opportunity waiting for you. It's like it's right there. It's already there. All you have to do is let it go. Then we have the Hermit, right? So this is taking the time that you need to accept it, to follow your inner guidance. The Star here, which is, I like that because I think Aquarius is the Star card, I want to say. Let me double check. Where to put my notes? Okay. Yeah. So Aquarius is the Star card, and so I like that little hint in that direction, because there's a star. I don't know if you can see it. There's a star in there in the Hermit's lantern. So go within. Go within. Because when you do that, that's when you start this new journey with the Fool. And I feel like in some regards, like, don't walk off a cliff, like, obviously. And I think that's one thing that's obvious about the Fool card, is like, you don't have to approach it with that mindset of like that blase, I can't think of the word, naivety. Yeah, like, you don't have to approach it that way. But there's always going to be things that you don't know, and there's always going to be naysayers, and there's always going to be reasons to not move ahead, and you can't let that stop you from living your best life. And that's That's what's happening here. Like he can't, you can't see this, and so looking at it, it's scary to have that new start. But I mean, that has to come after the Death card, right? That has to be the next step, is you've released something and you're starting something new. I mean, this is, yeah, like it's funny because they're also the Fool's turning his back on death. And once you allow that, that path will unfold before you, but you have to release to make space for that. I do also like, it looks kind of like there's pomegranates and stuff on his cloak, and that's a symbol of abundance. So Aquarius, you still have, ooh, I just saw something else that I did not see before. With the Two of Cups, like you still have, I'm sorry, there's not a Two of Cups, it's the Five of Cups, but there's two cups still sitting there. You still have the Queen of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles on the board. So it's like there's the Death card and the Two Swords cards with the Three of Cups that are spilled over, but there's still the Pentacles. So it's like you still have so much. Yes, I like it. Aquarius, I hope this was helpful for you. I hope that you have a great month of September, and thank you so much for watching.